Welcome to our deep dive today. We're diving into Monaco. It's a fascinating place.
It really is.
Tiny country.
Yeah,
Second smallest in the world, I think.
you got it.
But so much, I guess you could say punch for such a small place.
Yeah, a big presence on the world stage.
Luxury, royalty, Grand Prix, all that.
Yeah,
So how does a place barely bigger than Central Park
right.
managed to become so iconic? We'll try to figure that out today. We've got excerpts from what seems like a travel documentary, like one of those,
Okay.
hour-long specials.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to uncover what's beyond all the glitz and glamour. What do you think?
I'm excited.
All right. Monaco's ruled by the Grimaldi family.
Yes.
Everyone knows that. But they've ruled since the 13th century.
What?
Think about that.
That's a Christmas.
Unbroken dynasty.
Yeah.
Longer than a lot of
Country.
countries have even existed.
Exactly.
That's got to shape a country.
Yeah, that kind of continuity is practically unheard of.
Yeah.
It really shapes Monaco's identity, a sense of stability. And you can really feel it, too.
Yeah.
That palace perched on the cliffs,
Oh, yeah.
overlooking the Mediterranean.
Mhm.
Every day, that changing of the guard, you're like connected to the past.
And speaking of history and kind of larger-than-life figures,
Yes.
Grace Kelly, American actress,
Right.
Princess Grace. Sounds like a fairy tale, but did her fame really put Monaco on
Yeah.
the map like our source says?
It did, but I think it's deeper than that.
Yeah.
The wedding to Prince Rainier in '56,
Okay.
a media spectacle, broadcast all over the world. They knew what they were doing.
Right.
Monaco wasn't just for the wealthy anymore. Now it was glamorous, romantic, a real-life fairy tale.
A real fairy tale.
Yeah, and then tourism exploded, investment followed.
Wow.
Monaco's global profile just skyrocketed.
It's amazing. Speaking of image, we gotta talk about Monte Carlo.
Oh, yeah?
Our source describes it as just over the top, crystal chandeliers everywhere, high rollers just throwing around stacks of chips like it's nothing.
That's monopoly money.
Right, celebrities everywhere. It's like a James Bond movie.
Well, Monte Carlo has been the playground for the elite for over a century.
Really?
And that casino, with that Belle Epoque architecture, that sense of exclusivity, it's not just about the gambling. It represents luxury. Fortunes are made and lost there. You know how many movies and novels use it as a setting?
That's true.
And, of course, you can't forget all the high-end shops and those Michelin-starred restaurants all around it.
Right.
Just catering to anyone who, wants the best and doesn't care about the price.
But Monaco's not all about glamour, right? There's also the Grand Prix.
Of course.
I'm not even a huge racing fan, but even, I gotta admit, the
Yeah.
idea of Formula One cars racing through those streets,
It's pretty exciting.
it's exciting. Yeah.
The Monaco Grand Prix is like the top event in Formula One racing.
It is, yeah?
And for a reason.
Yeah.
It's not just a race, it's a spectacle.
It's huge.
The track itself is legendary. Winding through those narrow streets, it demands absolute precision from those drivers.
Oh, yeah.
Tight corners, changes in elevation, even a tunnel.
Right.
The slightest mistake could be a disaster.
It seems like everything in Monaco is designed to be bigger than it actually is.
It does, doesn't it?
Even the racetrack.
Yeah.
Our source says it's led to some of the most memorable moments in racing history, all because of how challenging that course is.
Right. It's not just about speed at Monaco.
Yeah.
It's about control, strategy. It really tests even the best drivers.
So we have royalty, casinos, intense racing.
We do.
All packed into a country you could walk across in an afternoon.
Pretty much.
It's crazy. But there's another side to Monaco that we don't hear about as much.
Oh, there is.
According to our source, there's a really rich cultural scene
Okay.
beyond just the glitz and glamour.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's easy to forget that Monaco has culture beyond,
Right.
the casinos and celebrities.
Yeah.
For example, they have an opera house
Really?
that rivals the one in Paris.
Wow.
It's called the Salle Garnier,
Okay.
and it was designed by the same architect
Oh, wow.
who designed the Paris Opera House, Charles Garnier.
That makes sense then. It's like they brought a bit of Parisian elegance to
Yeah.
the Mediterranean.
Exactly. And then there's the Oceanographic Museum,
Okay.
which, get this, was once headed by Jacques Cousteau.
No way. Jacques Cousteau,
Yeah,
the famous ocean explorer.
the one and only,
Wow. He led the museum there.
for over 30 years.
That's amazing. It shows you how important the sea is to Monaco.
Yeah, more than just the yachts in the harbor.
Right. It's deeper than that.
And speaking of contrast, our source says that Monaco is a
Yeah.
leader in environmental initiatives.
Really?
Yeah. Kind of surprising, right? For a place known
It's,
for...
you don't usually think of environmentalism when you think of Monaco?
No, not really. But they're investing in green energy,
Huh.
electric vehicles, sustainable development practices.
So they're not just talking about it.
No, they're actually doing it.
That's impressive.
They even have these land reclamation projects to deal with the limited space.
How interesting.
Yeah, like a floating waterfront extension and an artificial coastline.
Wow. So they're expanding their territory,
They are.
but in an eco-conscious way.
Exactly. It's pretty innovative.
It really is. It shows they're serious about sustainability.
It's like they're saying, we may be small, but we can still make a difference.
That's a good message.
It is. It reminds us that Monaco's more than just a playground for the wealthy.
Right.
So, back to our original question, how does such a small country have such a big impact?
Well, it's a combination of things.
Yeah.
The Grimaldi family history, the image of glamour and exclusivity they've cultivated,
Right.
using events like the Grand Prix and those royal weddings to get global attention.
Yes.
But it's also their willingness to innovate,
Yeah.
being a leader in sustainability,
Yeah.
and constantly evolving while staying true to who they are.
It's amazing how many layers there are to Monaco.
It is. We had all these preconceived notions, and this deep dive has really challenged them.
Yeah, it's been eye-opening. We've seen the history, the culture, the unexpected commitment to the environment.
It's more than just a playground for the rich and famous.
So much more. And that's what's so great about doing these deep dives.
Yeah.
We go beyond the surface, challenge our assumptions, and come away with a much better understanding.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to stop here.
That's true.
What parts of Monaco have you thinking? What new questions have come up for you?
I know I have a few. We encourage everyone listening to dig a little deeper.
Yes.
Explore more, challenge those perceptions.
That's where the real discovery lies.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Monaco.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you've learned something new about this incredible little country.
Yeah.
It really makes you think. Monaco, this place that just oozes luxury,
Right.
but they're also taking the lead when it comes to being eco-friendly. Like you said, they're not just talking about it.
Right, exactly. It's not just for show. They're investing in the right tech, making real changes.
Investing in green energy, promoting electric cars, all those sustainable development practices. It's impressive.
They're going all in. And those land reclamation projects are just wild.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the floating extension, the artificial coastline, they're being so creative.
They really are. Finding solutions to being a tiny country with big goals.
Absolutely.
Which I guess brings us back to that question from the beginning. How does a country so small have such a huge presence on the world stage?
Well, we've talked about a lot of it, right?
Yeah, the history.
The Grimaldi family, that image of luxury, using those big events, the Grand Prix, the royal weddings, it's all very strategic.
They know how to get attention.
Yeah. But also, they're not afraid to innovate, to be at the forefront of things like sustainability.
And constantly evolving.
While still holding on to who they are. It's a balancing act. It's amazing, isn't it? We started with Monaco, this place everyone thinks they know.
Yeah, but it's so much more than that.
So much more. We've gone deeper, seen the history, the culture.
The commitment to the environment.
Yeah. I feel like we've uncovered so much.
And that's what these deep dives are all about.
Absolutely. We challenge our assumptions, we learn.
We get a much better understanding of the world around us.
Yeah. So what about you listening? What parts of Monaco really stood out?
What new questions do you have?
Keep exploring. Keep learning. That's what it's all about.
Don't be afraid to challenge your own perceptions.
We want to thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Monaco.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
It's been a really fascinating journey.
It has.
And we hope you've come away with a new appreciation for this small but mighty country.